From the moment he opened his eyes to the world, Uchiha Itachi carried a weight far too heavy for a child to bear. He was born into conflict, his first memories painted with the horrors of war, and from that moment, he knew deep within his kind and gentle soul that he despised it. Traumatized by war, he sought peace. He dreamed to erase conflict from the world. Itachi was not just a prodigy. He was arguably the most talented ninja who has ever lived. But he was also a child who saw too much, understood too deeply, and carried burdens that no child should have to endure alone. He walked the path of absolute solitude, making choices that no man should have forced to make. To protect the village he loved, he became its greatest traitor. To preserve peace, he was forced to kill all his clan, and to save his brother, he had to become his worst enemy. And in doing so, he cast himself into the abyss of loneliness, never once turning back. The weight of his loneliness could have shattered a lesser soul, could have drowned him in madness and despair, yet Itachi never wavered. He bore his suffering in silence, never asking for understanding, never seeking happiness. He had no one to confide in, no one to unburden his pain. His existence was carefully crafted illusion, a villain in the eyes of the world, a guardian in the shadows. How many nights did he spend staring at the sky, knowing that no one could ever truly know him? Loneliness can make a man question his purpose, his identity. When cut off from others, we seek validation, a mirror to remind us of who we are. But Itachi had none. He carried his purpose alone, without the warmth of companionship, without the comfort of friends. And yet through all the darkness, he never lost himself. He never faltered in his resolve, never allowed the world's perception to change the core of who he was. He was a man of unwavering will, a soul so strong that even in the face of utter isolation, remained true to its path. Itachi understood loneliness in a way few ever could. It was a suffocating weight, a presence that seeped into the soul and made one question everything. Loneliness can erode even the strongest of wills, strip a man of his purpose, his identity, until he becomes something unrecognizable. Itachi knew this, not through observation, but through experience. His life was one of solitude, burdened with secrets no one could share, carrying a pain no one could endure. He saw what loneliness did to others, how it twisted even the most promising souls into something tragic. Orochimaru, once a brilliant mind, lost himself chasing immortality to escape the emptiness that followed him. Kisame, a man with ideals, lost himself to the darkness searching for purpose. Sasori abandoned his humanity and sought solace in puppetry to escape his loneliness. Kabuto, lost in the shadow of others, reshaped himself again and again, never knowing who truly was. Obito, who once dreamed to be a Hokage, fell so deeply into loneliness and despair that he sought to erase the very world that hurt him. Even Madara, one of the most powerful shinobi to ever live, was ultimately just a man who could not bear his loneliness and the loss of his brother. A man whose isolation led him down a path of madness. They all faced loneliness, and loneliness changed them. It made them lose themselves, lose sight of who they once were. But Itachi, despite his unbearable solitude, never wavered. He knew what it meant to be alone, understood it better than anyone how dangerous it could be to walk without companions, yet he never allowed himself to fall into the abyss. He never sought revenge, never let hatred consume him, never lost himself to despair. He endured, even when the weight of his choices threatened to crush him. Itachi's greatest strength was not his skill or intellect, but his ability to carry his pain alone without becoming something he was not. He saw the darkness, he lived in it, but never consumed by it. He remained true to his ideals, even when the world gave him every reason to abandon them. In his final moments, as Itachi walked towards his brother, his body failing him with each agonizing step, his strength that once made him untouchable was all gone, drained by the burdens he had carried for so long. Yet he pressed forward, his will alone keeping him upright. He had planned to die without a word, to vanish like a shadow in the darkness. He had resigned himself to being the villain in Sasuke's eyes until the very end. But as he drew closer, something changed. Perhaps it was the way Sasuke looked at him, with eyes frozen with fear. Or perhaps it was the unbearable weight of lifetime spent in loneliness. Or maybe in the face of death he could no longer suppress what he had buried deep inside, a love too strong to be denied even now. And with the last remnants of his strength, he raised his trembling hand to do what he always done, to reach out to his little brother. A gesture so familiar, yet now carrying the weight of a lifetime. And in that moment, he let it go. He allowed himself for the first time in years to share his emotions, with a true gentle smile, one free of pain, free of duty, free of the loneliness that had consumed him. A smile that carried everything he had never been able to say, and with his final breath, he did what he had resigned not to do. He allowed himself to say goodbye. And as his body collapsed, his life slipping away, that smile remained, a farewell, a silent truth, a final act of love for the little brother he had protected until the very end. Uchiha Itachi was a man who bore the weight of the world upon his shoulders, yet never once let it crush him. His story is one of sorrow, of sacrifice, of unimaginable loneliness, but above all, it's a testament to an unbreakable spirit that walked alone, suffered alone, and died alone, yet his love remained unseen, but never fading, like a quiet ember in the cold night.